My name is David Lincoln, and I'm here to talk to you about PEW. Can anybody hear me? I'm here to talk to you about the putrefaction of fisheries management. It's great to see all you fishermen out here exercising your rights, exercising your peaceful right to assembly. You know, a wise person once said to me, the only way to protect your rights is to stand for your rights and assert your rights up front. Well, I'm up front, and I'm here to help you assert your rights. I want to help you identify the rights you don't even know that you have. I'm a relative newcomer to Gloucester. I've only been working with fishermen for about 15 years. Most of you have been in the fishing industry for a lot longer. I'm not a fisherman, I'm a scientist. True scientists like to ask questions they don't already know the answers to. You have a right to ask questions and to have them answered by people who don't automatically profit from a pre-scripted response. For example, whatever happened to the frequently asked questions section on the New England Fishery Management Council website? How many of you can recall the old chart which showed where the 12 key groundfish stocks were back in 2001? Does this chart look familiar? NMFS doesn't want to update that chart. Do any of you want to see what it looks like 6 years later? Yeah. Well, being a scientist, I guess I can make a chart as well as the next guy. And after waiting 8 years, I figure it's time it got updated. What do you think? Yeah. Wouldn't you like to see how the fish story actually turned out?
We know.
So the first step was to see if the GARM 3 alone, the Groundfish Assessment Review Meeting, report number 3, was sufficient to reproduce the early chart. So does that one look familiar? How many of you would like to see the same data updated again?
Yeah! They don't have time to update it. They're too busy in there. Look at them.
I had to make a few revisions in this chart. First, the redfish stock had to be dropped because they're doing so well that the bars wouldn't fit on the chart. Now the critics might say, okay, but George's Bank haddock is doing so well, it also skews the results. Go to the next chart.
They'll just throw that one away, like our landing.
So that brings us down to this. Does that look like failed fishery management strategy? These 10 stocks taken together are at their highest spawning biomass level since 1991. That's almost 20 years.
Come on!
Now, when I update this after the next stock assessment, I'll probably have to remove the Gulf of Maine cod. That poster child for collapsed fisheries is recovering so well that Gulf of Maine cod in 2007 was at the highest level in nearly 30 years. So, what can we learn from these charts?
You can't believe their chart.
You just change the reference points, that's all.
First, most of the stocks are doing pretty well and are on the rise. Certainly, this is not typical of a failed fishery. Second, most are well on the way to full recovery. They just need a little more time. You know, I heard on the radio this week that swine flu is spreading fast and the vaccine is behind schedule. According to the CDC, they were expecting 140 million doses of vaccine by now, but they only have 15 million ready to go. Their excuse was that some organisms take longer to grow than others. Think about it. In a controlled experiment, watched by the world's top microbiologists, they missed their estimate by over 120 million doses simply because nature intervened. They got only 10% of the recovery they expected.
Overfishing.